Hi, everybody. This is Aaron, and I'm here today. I'm actually very, very excited to have my Kabbalah teacher join us today on this video. I want to welcome Yosef. Hi, Yosef. Thanks
Hi,
for being a
thank
part of
you,
this.
thank you for having me. Thank you, thank
Thanks
you.
for being here. So I just wanted to kind of go over a few things with you. First of all, starting with, can you just tell us a little bit, just a little bit of background about yourself? Where you came from, and I guess
O-
what you do, a little bit about what you do.
Okay, good. So
Mhm.
I born in Israel, uh, and I discover Kabbalah. My background is art and fashion, and I discovered Kabbalah in the age of a little bit later, I can say, like the age of 35,
Mhm.
and around the year 2000. And when I discover Kabbalah, I realize how little I know,
Mhm.
and how limited my thoughts and my creativity uh, limited. So
Yeah.
when I start learning Kabbalah, I start involving every part of the study in my daily life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you come to find Kabbalah?
It's in Israel. I I serve in the army, and I
Yeah.
have friends that I keep in touch. And moved from a different neighborhood in Israel, in Haifa. That's my hometown, Haifa. It's up
Wow.
north.
Yes.
And I moved to a different neighborhood.
Mhm.
And a friend from Tel Aviv came to visit me. And she came to visit, and I see her like shining, like really you can feel the aura and you feel like the holiness around her.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's happened? What you smoking? What's happening? What's happening? What's what you taking?" She said, "I started learning Kabbalah." I said, "Right, what is Kabbalah?" And she started to explain to me the concept of reincarnation, and I was automatically hooked because then I realized that there is a reason for everything, or there is something beyond this reality that I'm living now. And that was I think, the key for me to start searching.
Yeah.
And she invited me to a tour, like a tzaddikim tour in the up north.
Nice. Yeah.
Up north, and I went with her, and I went to Rabbi Yonatan ben Uziel, that is in charge of soulmate, I guess. What I guess I
So,
know, he's in charge of soulmate. Yes, Rabbi Yonatan ben Uziel is
wow.
yeah, in Amuka. He's in charge. He's the tzaddik that we pray for a soulmate, a greater relationship. So we went there all night. It was all night trip, and
Oh,
uh, and the following day, I'm just walking in my new neighborhood,
mhm.
and I see one of the teachers like hanging the sign, the Kabbalah Center. So they just moved into my neighborhood from different location to a new location, and I just like went in and I said, what's the schedule? I want to start Kabbalah 1. So I started Kabbalah 1 it's around 2001.
Oh,
And in
wow.
2003, I joined as a chevre to the one of the teachers
Mhm.
and I moved from Haifa to Los Angeles. My first station was in Los Angeles. Yes.
Amazing. Was that the
Yeah.
first time in the US or like in Los
No, no,
Angeles?
no, no. As a designer, I used to travel a lot around the world. And
Oh,
so it wasn't my first time. I knew, but I must say that my first experience, there is saying about New York that
hmm
or you love it or you hate it.
yeah.
There is a saying about that. And I remember, like, as a designer, when I came to for meetings here in the
Yeah.
US, I felt very lonely and very, I had the meetings,
Mhm.
and I was like just, walking in the street and looking at stuff, whatever. But I felt like the loneliness.
Yes.
And after a few times, that when I came again to an event in Rosh Hashanah in New York,
Yeah.
that feeling disappear because I felt like there's
Yeah.
something bigger than that. I have like, when I started learning, I felt like the sense of community, the sense of love, the sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And when I landed in New York, I didn't have that feeling that because it's like was like a involved with a lot of involvement with the center. So it was
Yeah.
a different experience. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
was that Rosh Hashanah in New York? Because was that like years later?
Two,
Because I remember.
my first event was Passover 2002.
Okay. Okay.
And, it's also funny the way that I came to Passover. It was you know, as a Israeli, there is everything that around holidays always, family. It's always around families.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to break the taboo, I can say, around it about like, to go and, to say I'm not coming, and then it
Yeah.
took me a while. The reason why I did it, I never met the Rav Berg,
Yeah.
and a few months before Passover, I had a dream, and the Rav was part of the Rav was the main character in my dream, and the Rav said, "Why are you not coming? Come to Passover." So I
Amazing.
wake up in the following day, and I started to plan how I'm going to break it to my family to see, what, I have to go. I have to go to Los Angeles. It was in Anaheim back then.
Yeah.
So in 2002, I think 2002, I believe.
Mhm.
And and I'm involved more in, since then more and as a part of the center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So the Rav
Thank you.
came to you in a dream and asked you why you are not coming, and that was the
Ask me
disagreement.
why come. It didn't. It's
Yeah.
not like you must come. Why
Yeah.
you not coming?
Why
Come.
are you not
And I
coming?
remember I remember like also walking with the Rav in the dream in the mountains of Jerusalem.
Oh
Not in
wow.
so it's like it was like a casual,
Yeah.
casual. And I never met the Rav. We used to
Mm,
have like here and there lectures from the Rav, like stream.
yeah.
Stream. Usually in the new moons, the Rav used to record a lecture in LA, and uh, the center was showing it and during the event. So
Mm,
so that was my introduction to the Rav, but I never met the Rav in the
mm.
physical reality. Let's put it that way. So my first interaction was with the Rav. It was like in a
Wow.
different level. So it was
Yeah.
like a yeah. So I couldn't like said I have to. I'm going. So that
Yeah.
was my first thing to break through that pattern, like
Yeah. Amazing.
yeah,
Wow.
thank you,
Thanks for
thank
sharing
you,
that story. That's
thank you,
great.
thank you, thank you.
So in New York, you said like you felt like you belonged more after attending. I felt the same way too, because my first big event was Passover in California, but it was in
Right,
San Diego a few years later from when you were there. But also, I felt that same way at Rosh Hashanah in New York City. Um, and I love New York City. It's a little like, right, like these days, it's a little much for me, but being a part of the Kabbalah Center group is really, it's an amazing experience
right,
for
right,
Rosh Hashanah. So.
right.
So you were in New York for was it when you said when you traveled for your
Work. I
career
travel for yes. I
in
travel for work. Yeah,
in fashion?
yeah, yeah. In
Mhm.
fashion, yes. I had design meetings and yeah, yeah. Europe and US. Yeah, I was traveling around a little bit.
Yeah. And then because I know that you create those the artwork behind you.
Right,
So
right.
what was were you also doing that during your your work in fashion, or was that something that you
So I
transitioned?
graduate high school, I graduate graphic design. I
Hmm.
have I have two aspects, it's like two
Yeah,
aspects of that. There is the graphic design and there is the fashion.
yeah,
And so I found, maybe 4 years ago, I think since the pandemic,
yeah.
uh, I wrote something on a parchment. I
Mhm,
took before the pandemic, I believe. I don't remember exactly the time frame, but I remember that one of the teachers asked me to write something in the Hebrew letters on a parchment.
mhm,
And then I finished, I went to Karen and show it to Karen. And Karen said, why not to do it,
mm,
to do it, like to put it on the website or to do more from that, to break
yeah.
it down to write on the parchment is the whole, there is a lot of halacha, a lot of rules how
Okay.
to write on a parchment, but why not you break it down to create something that it's more artistic, that so I went with few options to show Karen, and Karen loved it. And
Yeah,
from since then, I doing some art, combining that art with my routine at the center. So
yeah,
I'm involving by teaching and working on one
yeah,
with my artistic part. So that's something that I'm doing, and it's fulfilling. I feel like it's like a meditation for me. It's like a source,
wow,
like it's a sense of meditation. When I'm doing it, it's like I'm busy with the energy with it. It's like there's decisions, like even the letters, like the size of the letters. It's like I'm trying to even to find like the best numerical value for or the first size for the letters. Like let's say if I need 20, so you know what, I will choose 22. I will choose 36. I will choose number that it's more, like can deliver the energy from it. It's like and I get some feedbacks from people that enjoying it because it's easy for them to meditate when it's more colorful, something that it's nice to see, and
yeah,
not only three combinations letters. So
yeah.
it's nice. Yeah.
It is nice. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, thank
When
you.
you say, you're welcome. When you say like the numerical value, does it just come to you, or
Mm.
how is it?
It's a mistake. Sorry, it's not numerical value. Not numerical
Mhm,
value. It's like
mhm,
when let's say you doing it's not numerical value. It's
mhm.
when you're choosing the size of the letters, right? When you choose the
Okay.
size of the letters, so you can choose. You can do like the size 10, 11, whatever, it's like but where your intention is to choose the size of the letters, it's of course it's more powerful because you're injecting the energy of that number into the letters. You know
Okay.
what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like it's injecting the consciousness into that part.
Mm,
It's not just, oh, I'm choosing the red, or I'm choosing this font or that font, or this size. It's like it's also my consciousness is with that.
yeah.
Instead
Yes.
of
Yeah.
like, oh, it's look nice, but if I need to choose between, let's say, 100 or 101, I will choose 101 because there is more
Right.
protection and healing, right? So I'm gonna,
Mhm.
it's in my consciousness to choose it. It's
I
in,
see.
it's part of it. It's like part of
Mm,
not to be like just, oh, like something like it's physical. Oh, wow, I graduate fashion design, or an artist or graphic design. I'm doing it because I'm involving also the spiritual being
sure.
or the spiritual consciousness into that pieces,
Yeah.
so it's
Amazing.
part of it. Yeah.
Amazing. I mentioned this to you, I think it was a year ago. I was at my friend Robin's house, and she's like, I have found the most amazing artist who does these Hebrew letters. I'm like, oh my God, that's my teacher.
Yeah, I have someone, it's in the beginning, I got an order like for someone that one individual that ordered 15 pieces.
Wow.
And I was like, I was calling him, I
Yeah.
called him, say, hey, thank you I want to know you, I want to know you.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you for purchasing it, order it. And he said, you know what? I have my work area and I'm putting it in my and put it in my wall in front of me, and it's helped me to focus. It's helped me to
Wow.
have a better day. So it's like it's an amazing feedback. As I said before, it's like when it's a when when you are even if when you are like say a daydreamer, right? And you are focusing on something that it's so the,
Hmm.
the purpose is not the color around it. It's in the end, you want the person to meditate on the look as much as he can on the letters,
Yeah.
right? Because the letters is the power, is the energy
Right.
that we all want. So
Yeah.
the whole decoration around it or the whole art around it is just to allow the person to see more of that letter combination, that he will have more of that he requests, if it's healing or it's
Yeah.
sustenance or it's
Yeah.
cleansing or whatever
Hmm.
that's
The
in
letters are
design.
the
Yeah,
focal point. The letters are
exactly.
the focal point. Yeah.
All the time,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Just to acknowledge it for maybe for our viewers who don't know about the Hebrew letters, or where did the three name combination
Oh,
letters come from?
beautiful. This is thank you. It's great.
Huh?
Yes. So it came from the portion of Beshalach.
Mm,
This is basically the three verses from the Torah, from the Bible, that created the consciousness that Moses had to split the Red Sea.
mhm,
So there is a different way that you can scan this chart, the full chart,
mhm.
that in different direction it's one verse of the Bible,
Yeah.
but when you separated them and you in a different the way that the Kabbalists structure it, it's build the 72 names of God, the 72 names of gates of
Mhm,
energy that we can connect. So it's like there is the energy of sustenance, or the energy of healing, the energy of soulmate, the energy of uh, unity. There is so many keys that each three letters, this three-letter combination is basically the key
mhm.
for that gate. So if a person wants to meditate to have a better health,
Yeah.
right? So when he look at that, so he can, through that letters, because as the Rav Berg explained, is like the letters are the universal DNA. So if I want to change something in my life, I need to tap into the DNA. So this three letters a combination is the DNA that can help me to open the gate for that blessing that I'm looking in my life. So all these 72 names of God it's a formula that the Kabbalists created for us, like
Mhm.
Moses created for us in order for us to tap into the level that we can control our life,
Yeah.
that we'll be able to draw the blessings that's available for us.
Mhm. Clear.
Yeah.
Thanks for that explanation. And can we find your artwork? Is it on the Kabbalah website?
It's on Kabbalah.com.
Okay,
Wherever you are in the world, you can even in Kabbalah.com. And
great.
it's also on Amazon. So you can
Also,
also find some pieces on Amazon. Yes, Yosef Antebi or Kabbalah Center, and then you go to the bookstore
gotcha.
on Amazon, and you can find the artwork there. Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
nice. It's nice. It's a
Yeah.
lot of pieces of light everywhere. It's like
Yes, yeah.
I have a few pieces in Egypt. I have a few pieces in Saudi
Amazing.
Arabia. I have in the Philippines. I have in Australia. It's like
Oh, Yeah.
It's like a small piece of
Mhm.
something in
Yeah.
different parts of the world. So it's nice. Yeah, it
That is
is
it's
in
beautiful.
Israel. Yeah, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So, this is last question. Um, what would you say, if you have any advice for anybody who is new to spirituality or exploring spirituality? Is there any kind of advice that you would give them if they're brand new to seeking
It's a, it's a,
spirituality?
it's it's a good question and a tough question. It's a very good question. Uh, it's a very good question. It's like there is a many voices or many thoughts that coming in the same moment to what is the best. I can tell you, I can answer that question. I can answer that question from my point of view. It's like I think in these days, in our reality,
Mhm.
if you are not open to understand more of what's really happening around you, you unfortunately living in chaos
Mm.
most of the time with that lack of understanding. The
Yeah.
spirituality giving you a sense of peace or a sense of a understanding
Mhm.
that there is a bigger, a higher consciousness or a bigger understanding beyond
Mhm.
the limitation that what you experience or what you have. So really, Kabbalah can as the toolbox, really
Yeah.
the life toolbox that you can really enjoy and really experience to really to
Mhm.
improve improve and bring it down to your daily life. Not It's not something esoteric. If
Yeah.
I will, oh, I will. If I will do this, it's something that it's very practical that you can really download or experience that to your life here and now. Like really, if like so, it's really a that's my answer. That's really what's to bring is like to have that curiosity, I believe, curiosity to
Yeah.
and to want to understand more beyond what your work or your capacity or your day job or your family. There is much more than that.
Yeah.
Much more than that.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. That's what I really love about being a student of the center is it's the what you said, it's the experiential. It's not just the learning part, but it's the
Right,
experience of it, the experiential part of
right,
what you said, the curiosity of like the bigger picture, right? Like
right,
there's something bigger than all of us. And
right.
but also like I love what you said about the application of it um in your daily life, which I think
Right.
is
I
really
think it's
important.
also like you're getting answers. You're getting answers. It's like you can walk around like I don't know. It's like before my journey with the center, it's like you walk around and what's happening? What's real? What's happening? You're wondering. You're like you don't have answers.
Yeah.
You don't get that the answers that you're looking for. It's like okay, you are creative and you're doing things and you have exhibitions and you're traveling and it's like, but you feel like that emptiness inside that because what is that empty? It's not the emptiness. It's like the lack of answers. It's like things
Mhm.
happen. It's like it seems that you're doing great, but inside it's lacking. And then
Yeah.
when you discover that, it's like you can create so
Mm.
much more because it's like you're expressing yourself more than because you are more understanding yourself better. It's a understanding your being, who you are. And even
Yeah.
though, we're learning that we don't really know who we are,
Yeah.
but let's leave it that way for next time. But yeah,
Yeah. That's great. That's fantastic. That's great. Thank you for sharing all that.
sure. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And thanks for being on the video today. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Yosef.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.